what you need to consider is like what I have here, the areas that are indented, the areas that are raised, and the areas that are level. So remember your practice piece, you indented some areas, and then you raised some other areas from the back. But then other areas might have been left level. So you have these 3 different levels of your metal. And you are going to, I'm going to create a key over here. Any area that is left the paper is going to be raised. Any area that is filled in with pencil will be left level. Any area that is filled in with Sharpie, whether it's a space or a line, is indented. Okay, so far, does that make sense? Based off of your practice piece, you should have areas that are raised, areas that are indented, and areas that are level. Do we get that? Yes, good. All right, let's move forward. So I am going to think about my work here, and I know I want all of these little circles to be raised, and I want them to stand out a lot. So I am going to end up filling in all of this background space, going around my design really neatly, and filling in that background space because I'm indenting it and I'm raising the circles. So that's one combination you can have. And then I would fill in this whole space. This area where it's a bunch of lines, I know I want to indent the lines and raise the space between. So remember we talked about how like areas should be neater than how you initially drew them, or keep them just as neat. I'm trying to look for my ruler and I can't find it. There it is. I have straight lines. I am going to make sure I go over these straight lines with a ruler. Some of them seem like they're too close together, so I am going to make adjustments now. You can do that. This is your final draft. You are mapping things out, and if you need to make adjustments, you are making them now. So these lines are indented, and the space between them is raised because the space between them is staying the color of the paper. Now over here, where I have my teardrop shapes, I am going to leave the space around the teardrop shapes level. Meaning I'm not indenting it and I'm not raising it. So I'm coloring it in with a pencil. And then I'm going to raise the teardrops. So I'm going to leave them the color of the paper. But I want to indent little dots on them down at the bottom. So I would do that to all of them. Every space in your drawing is going to be either raised, level, or indented. So you need to really think about your process now. That's why we did the practice piece. When you are filling in a space, whether it's pencil or Sharpie, make sure that you fill in the whole space. So I know that this background is going to be pencil, but that doesn't mean that I can skip out on filling in this space. I have to fill in the whole space. I know the background here is going to be indented and needs to be Sharpie. That doesn't mean I can skip out on filling in the other stuff. I know all of these lines are going to be indented. That doesn't mean I can skip out on drawing them in Sharpie. You have to have the whole thing done, and I will work on mine while you're working on yours so that I can post my final in the folder for today.